It is true that we have inherited a colonial state that actually is extractive in nature, and the first extraction was to the Crown in London. And when you look now to where we are today, you will see that the same arguments that were in 1963-65 are prevailing between a central government and devolution and between the people and landmass. Mr. Speaker, if you refer to the 1965 session of paper number 10 on African socialism and its application in the planning of Kenya, you will clearly see a contestation between a country that wanted to concentrate its resources so as to galvanize the country, and the failure of Majimbo, and the advice that was given to KADU through its lawyer, who was actually hired from Switzerland, where they have cantons that are divided, 7 of them, and which produce a rotating president every year for 7 years. And coming back to this same idea of a session of paper, it is very interesting to note that there was also another session of paper in 2012 that was actually put in place ostensibly, Mr. Speaker, to slow down the horse for the donkey to catch up. And this session of paper, championed by Waziri Muhammad Elmi, is not actually being flagged out as a key determinant of the current second generation formula that actually has caused an illegality and injustice to many Kenyans who deserve to be properly resourced in terms of the monies that are going to counties. And why am I saying so? If you look at the Sakaja Amendment, it seeks to freeze the population of this country to the 2009 census. And, Mr. Speaker, I beg to disagree, because we have new data in 2019, and I want to give an example. In the county of Mandera, there were, the 2019 census has demonstrated that the population reduced by 15%, Mr. Speaker. And when you look at that, in the 2009 census, the same population had more males than females within the same variance. And yet, the norm is there are slightly more females than males. If you combine the population of Wajir, Mandera, and Garissa, you get a total population of 2,490,000 people. And you compare the same to the population of Kiambu. We have 2,417,735 persons. Now, the cumulative allocation of those 3 counties is a record 25 billion, Mr. Speaker. And yet, the allocation for Kiambu County is 9.4 billion, with actually a wage bill of 8 billion, Mr. Speaker.
What's your point of order?
Is that really fair?
What's your point of order,
a county with the same number of people gets 16 billion.
Order. There is a point of intervention from Senator Mazayo.
Asante Bwana Spika. Hoja yangu ya nidhamu, hivi sasa tunaongea mambo ya ugavi wa pesa zinazokwenda katika county. Ndugu yangu Mwaura, ambaye namheshimu sana, anasema sasa watu wa Mandera waume ni wengi, wanawake kidogo. Anasema watu wa Mandera maeneo yao ni pakubwa, hawana watu. Yeye aongee vile anavyotaka kupinga ile hoja ya ugavi wa pesa ambao umeletwa na ndugu yetu Sakaja, kuliko kutupeleka katika njia nyingi 2, 3, 4, 5 za kusema wengine wanazaa zaidi, wengine hawazai zaidi. Hasa akisema kwamba watu wa Kiambu wanazaa wanawake wengi, wanaume ni kidogo, inamaanisha nini katika ile hoja yake anatuletea hapa? Nafikiria Bwana Spika, ingekuwa vyema uweze kumwambia atulie katika kile kitengo ambacho anataka kusema, badala ya kusema kwamba wakina mama wa kutoka Mandera ama sehemu zozote atakazotaka kuzitaja. Ni makosa sana kuambia kwamba mama zetu hawazai waume, wanazaa wanawake, ama wanazaa waume wengi na wanawake hawazaliwi.
Wakati Senator Mwaura uchunga usiende kwa details zingine ambazo zinaweza kuleta taharuki.
Mheshimiwa Spika, na niwie radhi lakini lazima niseme ukweli uliopo, kwa sababu kila mama ana uwezo wa kupata mtoto na watu wa Kiambu ni wengi. Kwa hivyo lazima niongee kuhusu takwimu ambazo ni rasmi, sio mambo ya kufikiria, na sidhani Mheshimiwa Spika hiyo ilikuwa hoja ya nidhamu, hiyo ilikuwa kuchanga. Na ninakuomba Mheshimiwa Spika, tafadhali uweze kunikinga kutokana na hoja zisizo za nidhamu za rafiki yangu Mheshimiwa Mwazayo. Na Mheshimiwa Spika, niseme pia kuna watu ambao wanafikiri kwamba wao lazima wazungumze, wengine wasizungumze. Nitazungumza. Mheshimiwa Speaker, let me go back.
You started in English, so we go back.
Yeah, let me proceed. I was just using Kiswahili because we know it also. Mr. Speaker, if you look at the county of Kilifi, there are 1.4 million people with a current allocation of 10 billion against my county of Kiambu with 2.4 million people getting 9 billion. And Mr. Speaker, this is the injustice that we are talking about when it comes to debating about the revenue formula. Mr. Speaker, there has been an argument, Mr. Speaker, that the formula so proposed by the committee on which my good brother, Senator Sakaja wants to amend.
What's your point of order?
Mr. Speaker, sir, I am baffled by your directives in this House. You've directed that we comply with the Ministry of Health guidelines on this COVID pandemic. My dear brother, you can be emotive as you want, but we must protect other people who are here. When you speak without a mask, you're on the dispatch, which is what our dear colleagues from the other chambers will be using, is putting their life at risk. So, Mr. Speaker, sir, I would really plead with you that we focus, and then we remain relevant on the issues. There's no point of being emotive on this matter. Let's follow the Ministry of Health guidelines, and let's not also point at our colleagues from Kilifi when he just spoke, and then our dear brother goes directly. There's no point of trying to antagonize each other. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Okay, order. I'm directing that if you'll speak without a mask, I will order you to sit down. I can see a point of order from Senator Mohamud.
Mr. Speaker, sir, is my good friend, Senator Mwaura, in order to be talking about Kiambu, Kilifi, Mandera, while actually he represents special interest. He does not represent Kiambu.
Okay, Senator Mwaura.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, that is the most frivolous point of statement that has come from my former chairman, because I am in the Kiambu delegation. I am born and bred in Kiambu. I represent the people of Kiambu here. I vote for them many occasions. And even in Kiambu County, Mr. Speaker, there are so many people with disabilities. And so therefore, I will not allow to be pigeonholed because of this debate. Mr. Speaker, let me proceed.